Hey guys, Quiet Ash here. Welcome to my channel. I posted an update video earlier and said I would probably post another video if I thought of a topic, and I did. So I'm going to talk about, quite simply, growing up. I'm 19. I'm on the autistic spectrum. I still live at home with my parents. I'd never been on a plane till last Monday. I'd never seen the ocean till last week. I've never been away from home more than a week, and I'm surpassing that this week. But one thing that's been on my mind lately is how when you turn 18, you don't become an adult overnight. It doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you wish it happened that way because you wake up one morning, you're 18, and you're like, yeah, I can vote now. Yeah, I can move out if I want to. Yeah, I don't have to listen to my parents anymore. First off, you always have to listen to your parents. Secondly, you don't become an adult overnight. You still need your parents when you turn 18. Your brain's not developed till you're 25 is what scientists say. When you turn 18, yeah, you get some added responsibility. You get to decide things like going to college and like what college you go to. You get to decide if you're going to live at home or not. But you don't magically become an adult overnight. That's why they have this thing called adulting, that like you get amazed whenever you have to do adult things like pay bills or go shopping or cook your own food or do the dishes, the laundry, the boring stuff like that you didn't have to worry about when you were a kid because your parents always did it for you. Similarly, your parents don't see you as an adult overnight. They still treat you as a child for a while because in their eyes, you are still their baby. Especially if you're an only child like I am. Your parents like see you as their little girl in my case. And it can be hard, it can be frustrating because one part of growing up is you stop agreeing with your parents on every single thing. You disagree with them more, and then they get upset because you don't agree with everything they say anymore. I've really had a problem with this lately. Especially because, like, my parents are worried about me because I'm not agreeing with everything they say. And the reason I'm not agreeing with everything they say is because I've grown up and I have a different view on the world than they do. Growing up definitely isn't easy either. Especially like I said, hinted at earlier, scientists say that your brain isn't fully developed until age 25. I'm 19, so technically I have 6 years before my brain is fully developed. Yet, when you become an adult, when you turn 18, the world wants you to make all these decisions. Like, what are you going to do with your life? What's your career going to be? What are you going to college for? What college are you going to? Where are you going to live? The world calls for us to make these big decisions at a young age. And quite simply, a lot of the times, we're not ready for that. I've been struggling with this thought lately of moving out. I've felt like I'm ready to move out. I've wanted to move out. But I've come to think about it more, like today especially. And I've come to the conclusion that as much as it pains me, it might not be time to move out yet. First, I need to get a car. I need to save up my money so I can get a good place. And that means maybe living at home for another year. Even though that's really tough, I think it's what I'm supposed to do. It's funny because me and my youth pastor were talking about this like a few weeks ago. And he was telling me how he thought it might not be the right time for me to move out yet because of stuff I'm going through, and that it would be so much harder if I was living on my own. And when he was saying that, like, I literally acted like he had stabbed me in the heart. Like, I put my head down. I was like, oh, this hurts so much. And I'm like, but I'm still listening. At the time, I didn't agree with him. I didn't think that it's not the right time, but truthfully, it's not the right time. One thing I've loved about this week I've been away is I've gotten to really be in tune with nature, hang out with nature more. It's really nice because when you look at nature, then you can't help but think of how great God is. And if you remember how great God is, then you know He has a plan, and that His timing is different than your timing. In my mind, it's time to move out. But in His mind, it isn't. That's hard to accept. Sometimes my plan does not line up with God's plan. But God's plan is more important than my plan. That's something I've been learning this summer. I think that's about all I have. Oh, no, there's more. Okay, so part of growing up is wanting freedom. When you live at home and you're 19, freedom is kind of complicated. Like, I think I should be able to stay out as late as I can. In my parents' mind, I should be home by, like, whenever they say. I'm okay with that sometimes, unless they say be home before dark. It's like, excuse me, aren't I like 19 years old? And then it upsets me whenever I can't do certain things. Like, so first semester of college, my college group went to this lake house for the weekend right after the semester was out. My problem was I had a final late at night that night, so my parents didn't want me to go, and they didn't let me go, even though the rest of my college group went, and I was so upset. Sometimes my parents don't let me do things that I think I should be allowed to do. If I wasn't living under their roof, then I'd be able to do them because I'd get to make my own decisions. But the problem is I am living under their roof. In the Bible, it says to honor your parents, to respect them. That can be really hard to do when you're a young adult, because you have your own ideas, they have their own ideas, and they don't always line up correctly. But they are your parents. They did raise you. They did get you to this point. They've paid for you. It costs a lot to raise a child. Think of how much money your parents have spent on you. You may not always agree with them, but they love you, and you love them, and I hear that you respect them more once you've moved away, which I don't completely doubt. Okay, now I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching this video. If you're new to my channel, thanks for watching, and please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll post more sometime this week. Peace.